No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that this world was being watched keenly and closely by intellectual. Oh god! Damn it! I already started horribly. Let me let me restart this. Let me restart this. No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that this world was being watched keenly and closely by intelligences greater than man's, and yet as mortal as his own. That as men busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. Yet across the gulf of space, minds that are to our minds as ours are to those of the beasts that perish, intellects vast and cool and unsympathetic, regarded this earth with envious eyes, and slowly and surely drew their plans against us. Hey guys, it's me, Minecraft World, and welcome to episode 2 of Minecraft World on the Air. I sincerely apologize for the poor technical difficulties earlier, but uh, uh yeah, welcome to our world discussion. Oh god, I can't wait to do this. I've been meaning to do something like this for a while, and it's both good for episode 2. So yeah, we already have one person in the chat. Hello, Antonio. How are you? Good. Welcome, good sir. How am I doing? I am doing great this morning. Um, yeah. So yesterday I did a. Well, I finished rereading the book. I was listening to an audiobook by David Tennant, which I will probably be adding to the description as soon as the stream ends. And I also did a binge watch of both the radio drama and the two film adaptations. Well, the two theatrical film adaptations of The War of the Worlds. I have not yet watched the Asylum films, the 2B show, or whatever it is, and I will probably not be watching the 2025 film. Um, but yeah, um, well, it has finally been commencing, and God, I can't wait. I have so much to talk about. But before I do, let me just share the stream link on Zim's server. If you are there, then please, then, and if you wish to join and discuss the War of the Worlds, then please do so. Let me also just let a friend know that this is starting. One moment. I am currently, and I also need to just. Let's just. Okay. Doopy doopy dooba doopy doopy dooba. And we have one person on the stage. Hello, Hoshi.
Yo ho, what's up, my amigo?
Nothing much. Just chilling. Do I sound good on your end, by the way?
Yeah, you sound good. You are not speaking robot language this time.
Oh, thank God. I turned on my computer hotspot earlier today, so I think that might be helping it. Um,
Also, if you're wondering, I did watch the 2005 version with Tom Cruise in it.
nice. Yeah, I saw you posted that earlier. One moment. Let me just double check my audio.
Not just because I'm a guy who's into 2000s movies, but also because it's the version that I have the most, idea with. I have the most memories with it.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I have some people that I think might be showing up soon. I hope we shall see.
But
Um,
before we begin, do you have anything to say about the destroy design that I sent on our general?
nothing too negative on that one. I think that one's pretty good. Um, Still have yet to see the full design, but um, yeah, no, so far looks good.
Oh yeah, I never told you this, but since I said this to Kaiji, but what are your thoughts on like the human characters that I drew for my Godzilla universe?
Um, Looks overall nice. Like your art, I've said it before. You're really good with both color and expression. Um, so yeah.
How
Uh,
did you felt that I included Douglas Gordon in my universe?
it looks neat. Looks a neat. It's a neat translation of him. Um, a sec. I'm gonna let
Yeah.
my other friends know. Just want to make sure I have as many people here who want to talk about the War of the Worlds um, as they as I can. Uh,
So is it true that this is like one of the very first like alien invasion stories out there?
yes, yes, it is. Yes. I was about to get to that. This, excuse me, this War of the Worlds is, um, yeah, it is the first proper alien invasion story and is one of the most influential pieces of science fiction literature, up there with Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein in terms of just how much it contributed to the creation of what we would call science fiction as a genre. Oh, geez. One of my glasses fell.
Ah,
Yeah, got it.
cool.
Oh, boy. No, not much activity this morning. That's a little upsetting, but I mean, it's a Tuesday, so
Ah,
it's Tuesday
so
in the morning, so yeah, don't know how many
yeah,
people.
kind of ironic considering in my place it's not gonna be evening, or in this case, it's gonna be nighttime very soon.
Yeah. Um, one sec. I shall also
So,
send.
is it true that in the original book slash novel that there is no main protagonist in the book?
Technically, there is, and our main protagonist is our narrator. It's a first-person POV, but we
So,
have
characters like Ray do not exist in the original book.
no. Our main character is unnamed,
Oh,
so
that's neat. So, no Ice Cube.
yeah. Did you watch Moist Critical's review of the thing yesterday? By the way, I'm curious.
No, but I did just saw a clip of Double Toast's review on the newest World of the Worlds movie. It was on TikTok right now, and goddamn, it was hilarious.
Yeah, Moist. Jeez, dude went in on that one. Like he's not a proper critic at all, but still.
Yeah, I
Oh
can
my
see that.
god, that man
Wait,
completely leveled it.
so what is he like the fan of the books or something?
Yeah, apparently the story has some level of sentimental value to him. So that so the 2025 film being basically a glorified Amazon ad really just didn't sit right with him
By the way, did you
at
notice
all.
that? Did you know that this film was in the production since the 2020? Because you can kind of
Yeah,
explain.
yeah, no, they had 5 years. They had 5 years to work on this thing, and
That's
uh,
insane.
5 years to work on this thing. How did it look this bad? How did we end up with something this bad?
Moreover,
What
how
the?
did they even manage to get Ice Cube in this movie?
Hmm?
How did they manage to even get Ice Cube in this movie is beyond me.
Maybe like a quick paycheck or something. I don't know.
Because I don't see him being the type of person who will be doing these types of movies. In fact, he will be type of guy who will be doing like action movies or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like, geez. Also, yes, War of the Worlds 2025, truly the movie of all time. Yeah. Oh God, dude. Like Moist Critical's reaction was the one that surprised me the most. He's not that much of a critic, but like, geez, man went all out.
Yep.
So
Now, after all this, I
yeah,
can safely say that this will be the worst movie of the year by far.
I have not seen it myself, and I do not plan to. But like,
Yeah.
it looks atrocious. Holy crap!
Okay, can we talk about the things we like?
Holy crap! It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just hoping for more people to show up. Granted, yeah, this is really early in like the live stream sphere. It's also early in the morning, but still.
Not for me,
Um,
though.
I know
Certainly not
for
for
me
me.
it is. For Vic, it probably is. For C and Zim and Joey, it's gonna be
Even
in the
Kaijikuro.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be in the afternoon. Um, it's basically Unfriended, but with aliens. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Though also that it's basically one big Amazon ad, which
Oh yeah.
doesn't exactly spark
Oh
that
yeah.
many
Hey,
that
I forgot to tell you this, but last Sunday, I watched Bad Guys 2. Michael, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
So,
Sorry, I was just
as I was saying, this last Sunday I went and watched Bad Guys 2.
neat. Saw Omni did a review on that one.
Yeah,
Um, I
it's fun.
I might go watch it after the stream. I need to save my money though.
All
So
I will tell you is that if you were blown away by the animation in the first movie, you'll get your socks out by the animation in this movie.
mm,
Anyway, World of Worlds.
yeah. um, browsing Discord in case anyone wishes to show up, please. Um, yeah,
I mean, if you
I'd
want
like
to,
for
you
as
and I
many
can.
people as possible to show up.
I
And
mean, is it,
I'll give a few minutes before the discussion because
wait,
we've
is
been here
Omnivore gonna show
for.
up? Is
I
Omnivore gonna?
don't know if he's aware that I'm doing streams. I know he's subscribed to my channel, but I mean, I'd hope he will, but we shall see. I am expecting Zeno to show up, but
I'm kind
because
of hoping
obviously,
that people like Seamoss or Kaijikuro do show up.
yeah, but that's neither here nor there. If they can't, that's fine. Because I know Kuru's in vacate is in Florida right now. I don't know if he's doing anything in particular to right now, but
Hoping that he survives against the Gators.
yeah. Out of curiosity, have you read the book?
Like I said, the only thing I ever watched anything other World Worlds was this 2005 version. So no, and but also just because I'm not that type of book person, I only read people to things like comic books or mangas.
Okay. Okay. Um. Yeah,
I
because I
mean, you
read the
can
book
tell
over.
me what you want about the book.
Yeah. Because I was hoping that's part of why I'm hoping more people can show up because people who have read the book can speak on it
I mean,
alongside.
before they come, we can at least discuss about what we think about the 2005 version.
Mhm. Yeah. I was about to get to like adaptations in a bit, but to me, oh god, how do I put this? Um.
By the way, did you know that Steven Spielberg was the director of this movie?
Yes. Yes, I am. I am well aware that he was.
Continue.
I'm well aware that he was a director for this film. And I, you could tell it was him. You could absolutely tell it was him. So, but yeah, no. I think to get started on the discussion now at this point, one of the biggest, really, God, where do I start with War of the Worlds? It's like it's one of those things that I have a lot to say on, but I don't know where to start. Um, I guess one of the first things that really stuck out to me on a reread was the atmosphere of the story, just how intense it actually is, and that's something that I think a lot of the adaptations both do and don't understand. Well, at least the theatrical ones did. The others, from what I can tell, didn't. Um, but like one thing that you really need to understand about the book is that it is really intense. It's like, and this isn't a thrill ride. This isn't like a thrill ride intense. It's like your seat, um,
Dude, you're once again being a
or
robot again.
oh come on, it's like edge of your seat thrill ride intensity. I thought, I swear I had the wait, I swear I had the hotspot. I don't know what was going on. Good. One moment. His goodness. Yeah, because the
So
hotspot's
anyway,
on.
I like peanuts.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Oh, but like, I think the intensity is part of why the book stuck out to so many people and still sticks out. Because into the first alien invasion story, when you actually break it down, aliens coming down, no matter how it would be quite the intense experience, quite the scary experience. Oh, hi! Finally, more people. Hello, welcome. That's
What's up?
I have been begging for people. Do you have anything to say on War of the Worlds, please? Um, but yeah, no. Um, oh god, oh god. There's so much stuff. Where do I start with this book? Like the intensity. I've already started with that. Oh my god. People. Eh. Hmm. Eh. Um,
You
yeah,
once
no.
again.
Um,
So anyway, guys, like and subscribe so I can watch more Taco Bells
mhm.
and also pet a dragon. Also, read Gachi Hauta. It's a really solid manga. So anyway, this episode of Gachiakta was really solid. I would give it a 5 out of 10, or no, 7 out of 10 because it was a really solid, good point about the introduction of the cleaners. Anyway, the animation
Yeah,
was solid. You got it.
nah, you keep going. Just keep stalling because I can't carry conversations.
Yeah, but also you talk like a robot, so because of that.
Stall, Hoshi. Do it.
Anyway, so today I watched The Bad Guys 2, and it was a really, really solid movie. I loved it, how it was a really solid continuation of the first movie. I loved the themes it was tackling, but also I loved how the film was really developing like our main cast, that being Mr. Wolf, Piranha, Snake, Tarantula, and Mr. Shark. But at the same time, I love how the film also just went deep in as to what it was trying to say about, the struggle of the main cast, but also dealing with the themes of the past catching up to you and the acts of consequences about, what's gonna happen in the future. But also, I really love the villains slash antagonists that were in the movie. Like, spoilers ahead, but I really love the main three villains, that being Doom, Pigtails, and Kitty, because I feel like, in my opinion, they were so much more. They were a vast improvement over the last main villain of the first movie, because I thought that not only were they much more interesting, but also they felt much more of a threat to the bad guys because they also had something to say. Also, they were clearly not these idiots. They were very much far more competent, but also they had layers of history. They had depth. They had something to say. At the same time, they were genuinely likable, but also something to understand about them. But also, I really love the what was film tried to explore with Mr. Wolf and his relationship with what's her name again? Let me say, oh yeah, Diane. I really loved what was the relation between Mr. Wolf and Diane Foxington. I feel like that they fully lean into their being a romantic couple, but at the same time, they you could tell that these two are gonna have a really solid relationship, even after the such a scene that was in the end. But overall, Bad Guys 2 was a really solid follow up to the first movie, and I'll give it something like the 8.5 out of 10, mostly because I feel like they bringing back the guinea pig from the first movie was kind of a waste of time, because I feel like they could have had something more interesting instead of just bringing the OG villain back. But other than that, a real solid sequel. Anyway, as for my thoughts on the 2005 version of the World of the Worlds, I thought for what it was, I thought it was a really solid adaptation of the OG book that was made by what was his name again?
H.G. Wells.
Yes, H.G. Wells. I thought that it was a really solid, not just a adaptation, but also a solid movie, because you at least understand the characters and where they're coming from. Like, I loved each character. So I like Ray, I like Rachel, I like Robbie, but I love the three in general, but not just because Tom Cruise was a solid actor, but also you at least understand the pain and sense of loss he
Yeah,
felt after the aliens came by and basically ruined his life. His life basically falling apart, and in doing so, you at least get his struggle and what was he trying to do to protect his family and get to Boston and find his wife in general.
yeah.
But
The
also,
thing,
I will. No, you can say something.
um, yeah, I think starting with that actually, we could start with properly with the family dynamic. Um, Uh, the thing, I'd say the 2005 film is about as close as you can get to capturing what the original book felt like. Um, because at the end of the day, this is a man's journey to his loved one. Albeit they changed it significantly from the 2000 in the 2005 film for obvious reasons. Like the real book, then obviously Mars is not inhabitable. It's not habitable, so they change the state. So they change. And is
So anyway, guys, did you know that Robbie was the actor who played Goku in the live-action Dragon Ball movie, Dragon Ball Evolution, aka the greatest movie of all time,
okay.
aka Justin Chaplin?
Yeah. Okay. I think the internet is fine with me right now. Yeah. No. At the end of the day, that's what this story is: a man trying to reunite with loved ones, a journey, a journey across, a journey across land and time, and it's just. Uh, why does land make mistake? Um. Just, oh my god! A friend of mine sent needs to me on Discord that the aliens are trying to silence my opinion. I am firmly believing that is true.
I guess they would prefer me over anyone else then. Lucky guy, am I?
Yeah. But God, I'm trying to formulate my thoughts. Why? 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 Why is it today? Oh my God. But yeah. When it comes, oh my God, this is so much easier for me than it actually is. Oh my God. Come on, words, work, please. Pain. I the live stream, all of my thoughts completely vanish. Oh my God. But okay, so it's, at the end of the day, a man going across like ruined cities trying to get back to someone that he loves, or in the 2005 film's case, a man trying to take his children to safety. And honestly, I'd say that is part of its greatest strength. The world is a personal story at the end of the day. While it is very much high soul, it is incredibly personal when you stop and break the. Oh, she's muted. Um, Chat, am I roboting?
Yeah, you're roboting, sadly.
Ah! God, why? Why? Why is it being such a pain today? Why is it being such a pain today? Oh my God.
I mean, if you want to, you can always type in on private chat what you were trying to explain. Yo, Minecraft, well, are you still here? Anyway, guys, today It was a really sunny day where I get to ride with my bicycle. It was a beautiful day, and today it was a holiday for my country.
I always find some way to jinx. Oh my god. Pain. Okay, just let me try something different. Try switching it to a different setting. Um, one moment.
Sweet. Anyway, guys, so as for my take on the World of Worlds 2005 version, I thought that, like I said, I really love the atmosphere of the movie. I loved how incredibly both dark and depressing this movie can be at times, but also at the same time, it can be a movie that can be deal with a lot of surprisingly really heartwarming moments. Like any scenes with Ray and his family was the highlight of the movie. I loved how every time whenever Ray was in his depression, his family was always there to like light up the mood, so it wasn't all like super messed up all the time. Like especially whenever, like the first attack when the aliens arrived, like it was genuinely just horrifying for him. Like the moment the people start to disappear into smoke slash ashes was like harrowing for him. And when he gets back to like his house with his son and his daughter, aka Robbie and what was her name again? Rachel.
Rebecca, Rachel.
No, Yes, Rachel.
Yeah, it was Rachel. It was Rachel. Also, can you guys hear me now? I
Yes,
switched
I
to
can
my
hear.
phone, so that might be
Okay,
a little
now you
awkward.
can finally say something what you were trying to say.
Yeah, no. No, you're actually leading the conversation because this is just a better discussion than I thought. This is a better method of discussion than I thought it would be. Um,
You're
yeah,
welcome.
no, no, yeah, thank you. This, this leads a lot to like what the book does, I think, really well, where, like I said, it is a very personal story. So you are, and the book itself is literally just a guy caught into the alien invasion, albeit in the original story, the guy is much higher of a class the um
Ray,
than Ray
Ray.
would be, who is just a generally more like middle class guy dealing with his own struggles. But because you have this person, this one random person caught in the middle of everything, it it adds a far greater sense of intensity, especially when learning that the military is struggling to deal with these things. It also helps build the mystery of what these things truly are. Um, so yeah, and oh my god, um, yeah, I think starting with the yeah, something that the '53 film did by comparison was focus a bit more on the military advance and like the efforts that the military are doing to stop the creatures, which obviously these the '50s had a bit of a different philosophy in comparison to both the early 2000s and the early 1900s, when the which is when the film and which is when the second and original book was written respectively. But still, that's something that I kind of felt a little bit lacking by contrast. Um, I said it on the Discord, but I'll say it here too. The the book, the 53 film felt more like the radio drama, whereas the '05 movie felt more like the book. Um,
Y-
if that
Yeah, I
makes
can see
sense.
where you're coming from. I mean, none can be said more about like the character of Harlan Ogilvy, which I feel like he will be a character that will come straight out of the books or something like that, which how deeply philosophical he is in general.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
it
speaking
is.
of Harlan Ogilvy, what are your thoughts on him?
He's fine. He's fine. Um, the yeah. I think another thing, the one thing that I will say the 53 film had that the '05 film I feel like lacked was that hubris angle. And I feel like that would have improved. Well, not exactly improved. I think the '05 film is fine as is, but that's something that I think the 53 film does better, where it, because the Martian invasion is entirely built upon by human hubris, the humans completely underestimating the Martians. I think that just I think that hubris makes the 53 movie a bit more, like, makes the start of the 53 film a bit more interesting to me and spiritually capturing of the book. Both of them are great, don't get me wrong. Both of them are absolutely amazing. But it's but the 53 film I feel like recaptured a lot of the Martian aspects better. Hell, I think they're both equal in terms of the human cast. Development wise, it's '05, but character wise, it's just 53. Like in terms of how engaging each character is, 53 easily takes it. Um, but yeah. Ah, God. I'm trying to rack my brain.
Well, we can all talk about like what our thoughts is on like the Martian slash aliens.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I think, no, generally with the book, I feel like the Martians, with with War of the Worlds, you really need to get the Martians right, and that's something that I feel like that's one thing that I think so many that I've seen so many people take issue with the 2025 version, especially the fact that the Martians are barely given any reverence, and when they are, it's under a very superficial and, dare I say, advertisemental lens. Nico Stud could probably reaffirm that. Also, uh oh, right. Never mind. Yeah, if you're there, dude, Nico Stud, you can say something on that. But yeah, no, the 53 film understood a lot of that and translated it into its own viewpoints, taking it from, obviously the ships aren't tripods, but they're treated in a very similar manner to them, where it's sort of like they're hovering over tripodal legs. They describe it as such in the film itself, whereas the '05 movie, that has my favorite take on the Martians across all of them, just because it's like, again, it was the closest to recapturing what made the Martians so terrifying in the original book, um, whilst blending a lot of aspects of the 53 movie into it. The shields, um, the like unruly, the shields, the spindly blobby nature that actually gave them some level of humanoid physical form in comparison to like the in the original book, they're basically octopi but not octopi. So having these designs translated into a different setting, I think more befitting of what the what the spaceships are, designing the spaceships after them, and then like correlating the designs, I think just makes it work a lot better instead of just the blobby tentacle. If that makes sense.
Yep, I understand you.
Yeah. I was gonna mention how essentially it was an Amazon advertisement because one of the characters is an Amazon worker. Yeah, um, yeah, that's I've seen so many people bring that up, and it's just like, yeah, why would you do that? Why War of the Worlds specifically? It's like, okay, you couldn't have told your own original alien invasion story as an advertisement. Transformers got away with it.
This is something that I would see from something like Skyline or something like that.
Hmm.
Which do you have you watched the movie Skyline?
No, I've heard of it. Yeah,
It's a very schlocky take on the alien invasion
it's
movie,
like,
but I really like the alien designs in Skyline.
yeah, I remember Pointless Hub brought it up, um, because it's in the public domain. It's like, yeah, okay, fair. Um, but again, you have two other examples of how to adapt the story well. Actually, three radio drama. um, I think honestly, I think just the thesis for this stream overall is like adaptations and how to do them right. But because War of the Worlds is kind of one of the most consistently well adapted, well, one of the most adapted stories to my knowledge. Um, Consistently well adapted, that is okay. I haven't seen every War of the Worlds adaptation, but at least the theatrical films are good, and the radio drama, which is probably the most famous adaptation of it, is also pretty solid in its own right. Um, what the radio drama itself, I think it obviously does a lot of things very differently in a similar manner to what the 1953 movie did, but it uses those adaptations in order to expand upon and reinvent the story in a modern sense. Obviously, it is not as thematically poignant as the original book, nor is it as thematically poignant as the films that would succeed it, but still, it tonally it's kind of on point. Like it's really on point, especially when the meteor lands. Um and out and just yeah, I don't really have much to say about the radio drama aside from like it good. It pretty freaking good.
Oh yeah, you said about how the radio drama is really intense like the novels.
Yeah. Not as intense, but it is very much there. It very much has a lot of that same intense aspects. And I think what makes War of the Worlds both one very easy to adapt and two workable is well both easy and difficult to adapt, but also incredibly workable is that intensity. That intensity and edge of your seat horror is very easy to translate into a film form, into pretty much any form. End of sentence. It has a very similar impact in compare akin to well Wells's other novels like The Invisible Man and The Time Machine, but also a lot of the founders of sci-fi understood this, especially considering this was real. These books were coming up along either right on the cusp of or growing alongside the development of cinema as a medium. And so they took advantage of cinema's language in order to translate, in order to give a visual air to their story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand you. Yeah.
Um, you know, even if the first film adaptation wasn't until 53, roughly half a decade after the original book. Actually, I'm curious. Um, you know, um, and also I think that's part of the appeal of the alien invasion story because it is a struggle against this quite literal otherworldly threat.
Yeah,
You have with things like Independence Day or Pacific Rim. Obviously, they draw very heavily from this book, even if
really, because
indirectly.
I always thought that Pacific Rim's inspirations were something like Evangelion or Mazinger Z.
I know, yeah, but like indirectly, you can see some level of parallel.
But if there's one thing I would say is that I'm someone of the guy who's kind of not the biggest fan of the whole alien invasion movies because I'm kind of something not the biggest fan is because I feel like some alien movies they kind of treat the aliens as just obstacles or just generic movie monsters that need to be put down. I'm kind of
Hmm.
not the biggest fan of those types of movies.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I get that. Um, to me, I think it can work, especially considering a lot of the tropes of the alien invasion is derived heavily from religious context. Like, uh, Zeno brought it up, but there is a conspiracy theory that extraterrestrials are actually just demons disguising themselves as otherworldly creatures, which
That's BS. I don't believe it.
technically they'd be right, since um okay, well that's a discussion for another time, but
Hey,
um
speaking of aliens, my sister right now is watching Alien 3.
oh neat,
I'm asking this because my sister's a huge fan of aliens and Predator movies.
neat. Yeah,
Anyway,
but yeah, I think yeah, one sec. I forgot to mention at some point a notification from Reddit pops up in the movie, and it was truly something. Oh, I say former Redditor. That is, jeez.
is
No,
that
I
one
went
of
to
your
therapy. Good. I am
is that
already aware of that. Sorry, my
oh
brother is talking to me.
man, that's okay, man. I understand you. I asked Rome. My sis can be a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, no, jeez. Yeah. Um, I think yeah, I really don't know what to say right now. I have so much, but also it's difficult to put into words. Just
I mean,
oh my god,
I
people
was
please shut
forgot
up.
to tell you this, but have you ever watched like the BBC's version of The World of Worlds?
Mm, the radio broadcast or what?
I
The
talking about the BBC version.
oh the show?
Yeah,
Is that
probably,
it? I
probably.
have not. I have not. I know of it. I have not seen it. So yeah. Um. Oh god. I was hoping for more people.
Well, since I'm not, since I never read like the original book slash novel of World Wars, I was gonna say like, is World War like a very pulpy like esque novel?
Not quite. It is. I think the best comparison from a modern day perspective would be um Independence Day with the tone of A Quiet Place.
Oh yeah, I heard that Quiet Place is one of your personal favorite movies.
Yeah, it is. It is. I understand the plot problems that people have with it and the character writing problems, but I don't care. I love the crap out of this film. I
So you
find it
even,
genuine. I find it
so you
genuinely
even like,
heartwarming.
so you even like the designs of the Death Angels.
Yes, I am actually fully willing to defend the Death Angels.
Really, even the comparisons to Demogorgons?
Yes,
Oh, that's neat.
yeah, I am fully willing. Part of the reason why they look like that is because A Quiet Place was originally supposed to be a Cloverfield film. Like it was like John Krasinski wanted it to be part of the Cloverfield universe, but J.J. Abrams shut it down on that. Shut that concept
Really,
down and it became something else.
Really? Because I always one of the things that John Krasinski said about the movie is that he took heavy inspirations from Country for Old Men or slash Aliens or other movies that I forgot to mention.
Yeah, that's inspiration. That's for the writing of the film, not like for what it is connected to. Um, J.J. Abrams took inspiration from the Rancor and the Xenomorph for the T-Rex, but that doesn't mean the T-Rex is part of either the Star Wars
No,
or Alien
dude,
films.
dude, you confuse J.J. Abrams with Gareth Edwards.
I know. That's I'm not saying they're the same person. I'm just saying like as an example, just because inspiration was taken doesn't mean they are part of the same universe. John
Yeah.
John Krasinski, that was the inspiration that he took, but he wanted it to connect to the Cloverfield universe. Also, pardon the background noise. I'm making lunch right now. So,
So
yeah. Um, just, I don't know why I'm making lunch on stream. I need food and also not much, not much, but also a lot to say on this book that I can't put into
as for
words.
me, today me and my sister slash my family were having pizza today.
Hmm. Only
This is
Archie is
gonna
here.
be a very
Why isn't she here? Why
this is
isn't
gonna
she?
this is gonna be a very short stream if you can ask
Yeah,
me.
no, I think I'm probably just gonna end it at like in an hour or like in a bit. Um, pizza right now. A sec. Um, oh, Brantley, hi, welcome. Glad to see you.
Is he gonna show up?
No, I'm just happy to see more people on stream. But yeah, no, well, so that's probably. Oh, that explains it. Okay. Um, but yeah. Um, what else is there to say about the war? Oh, right. So, so what was your personal favorite sequence from the film? I'm curious. From like the 2005 movie.
Oh, it was easily like it was either the introduction scene of the aliens when they were starting to bombard the entire town where the entire people started to turn themselves into ashes, or it was the scenes with Ray and Rachel, the heartwarming scenes. But also,
Mm,
I adored like the scene where the whole people start to destroy the entire car just to like take the vehicle and get out. It like showed the whole like whole kill or be killed like type of situation that the cast were in. But
mm,
also I adored the scene with like the boat, like the scene where
mm,
Robbie was trying to like help some of the people to get in the people, so not everyone can be left behind. But at the same time, it will lead to nothing because the Martians end up destroying the entirety of the ship, and in doing so, it ends up killing tons of tons and tons of people, along with it. But I
mm,
think probably one of my personal favorite scenes is like the scene where Robbie tries to, get in the military so he can fight alongside them. But Ray, being the protected dad that he is, tries to stop Robbie not to go into the military because aliens. He will die fighting them. But
mm,
you know, I think it's one of the reasons why I love Robbie so much because I love the whole rebellious nature to him. The fact that he's a very active character. The fact that he genuinely wants to like fight to like stop them. Well, people like Ray or Rachel,
mm,
they just want to survive or live to see tomorrow, so that they can at least find a way to get back to see his wife slash their mom.
mm.
That's what I like.
Yeah,
But I
I think
think,
for mm,
yeah, you could continue.
yeah, I think for me, my personal favorite sequence. Oh God, the '05 film specifically is really hard to pick from. For the book, it's the Thunderchild sequence, the equivalent to like the boat escape, where a military ironclad goes up against three tripods, takes down one of them, and sacrifices itself for a steamship to escape. It's such a harrowing sequence in the book. So it's like
Wait, did they adapt that in the 2005 version?
Not really. No, no. The steamship, the steamship was under attack, but the Thunderchild came in and stopped it. Um, but in the '05 film, it was just the steamship was destroyed. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, hey, I forgot to tell you this, but what are your thoughts on like the scene where the cast were trying to hide away from the Martian? How did you felt about that scene?
That was really tense, especially knowing each of the different characters' like sanities and knowledges of the situation. That just made the sequence so much better for me. Um,
Also, I could see a lot of Jurassic Park influences right there. References where Rachel was trying to get away from the aliens. Well, it had a lot of references to like the kitchen scene from the first movie. If you could see some parallelism.
mhm. Yeah, I mean, it is Steven Spielberg, so it doesn't surprise me. Um, but yeah, for the '53 movie, I think my favorite sequence is the reveal of the heat ray. Like, just we see the thing poking out of the meteor. One sec. Hey, thank you very much, good sir. Um, I actually, now that you mentioned this, I actually do have something in mind for like a 1K sub special, but I'm not going to reveal that until a couple live streams further in. So, yeah.
Okay, speaking of the 53 version, what were your thoughts on like the scene where the Martians were trying to like burn the forest down? One of those scenes.
Um, I was really about to get that where it's like they were unleashing hell upon everything. Um, the reveal of the heat ray is done absolutely phenomenally in the '53 film, just because it it's such a slow but it's such a slow buildup, but you know it's coming. If you've read the book or just vaguely know the story, then you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then it's just like for 1953, this is amazing. This is like this is
Speaking of the
really good.
1953 version, is it true that all the practical effects were like real, like practical?
Yes, yes, those all were practical. They couldn't make it tripods because budgetary reasons, I presume, but still. Um, so,
Looks like a hour's going to come, But
I mean, we could keep this discussion going. We're already running with it. So,
before we like end this live stream, I gotta ask you, if you were like the director and someone no, I was gonna ask you like if they were going to ask you to make your own like world adaptation, how would you make it?
hmm. Honestly, I've been thinking about this while reading the book. I would like to try to make it more akin to the second half, um, where it's like we have a brief recap of how the Martians got here, how they took over the world, and then it's humanity's slow and steady fight against them that brings them back, that finishes the job. Um, so yeah.
As for me personally, if I were to like make my own version of like the world adaptation, I would probably make it either animated or make it something akin to the movie Nine, like the movie that came out in 2009. Have you ever
Hmm.
watched that movie?
No.
I'm asking this because I see heavy like influences with Nine, like the world, like how it's heavy, like super depressing and just super intense, while at the same time it has a lot of sense of hope to them. Like
Hmm.
you can feel like the complete intensity that the cast were facing, like trying to survive these monsters. So in that's kind of like what I kind of wanted to do with my own adaptation. But
Mhm.
if I were making a movie, I would probably make it like a manga or like a comic book, so I can make it a little bit easier.
Mhm. All right. Yeah.
But
No, that would be interesting. Um, well, since we have just reached 1 hour, I'd like to talk a little bit about the ending for a bit, because um, I have seen so many people completely mixed on the ending because it's like the story just gets worse, 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 and then disease kills him. Um, One of the biggest complaints is like, how could an alien civilization so advanced be this stupid? It's simple, and the book answers this. It's because they didn't account for it. These things have been gone. These microorganisms have been gone on Mars for centuries. So the aliens don't have this kind of inbuilt system. And honestly, to me, it just kind of makes sense.
as for me, I thought that the ending was kind of fitting, like after all the complete nonsense and just absolute agony that Ray and his family were facing in the movie. So to have them have a much more of a happy ending, like I felt like they kind of earned it, after
Hmm.
everything they've been through. That's
Yeah,
just what I think.
that's something that the book, um, the 53 movie, and the '05 movie understood really well, where um, God, God finally sees the punishment, for lack of a better term, that the aliens have been given and decides, fuck you, I'm straight, I'm bringing you down right here, right now. And
That's a
it's
weird
also,
comparison.
I mean, the 53 movie has a lot of religious temperance. In fact, it straight up gives God credit for the death. So, for the defeat
Yeah,
of the aliens. So it's not unfair to say, but still. Um, but like, it's also just hubris. It's a mirror to the start of the book where humans underestimated the aliens and that came back to bite them. This is aliens underestimating this new planet and that coming to bite them.
yeah. But other than that, I think I'm going to be leaving a little sooner.
All right.
But before you go, like, do you have anything, like, any thoughts on, like, the 2005 version that hasn't already been said before?
No, no. Well, I mean, yeah, not really. Not really. Um,
Yeah, um, yeah, I think I'm going to be leaving. But other than that, hey, Kaiju, I mean Michael, well, if you're wondering, I plan to, like, draw your own Kaiju Nyusu, if you want to know.
Nias? Hell
Yes,
yeah.
Nias.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
do you have any suggestions, like, what I'm going to, what I had to do, like, some principles I had to take before I draw her?
Um, if you're gonna color her, she's a bright orange, so she's the redhead. She's that color scheme. Um, just follow what the outline has, and then see what you can do in your own style and figure it out. Because yeah,
But you forgot to say what type of species she is.
she is. It's hard to really describe what species she is. She's namely modeled. She's namely based off of cats and Western dragons. So, if you want an idea of what to go for, something like that.
Okay, I will take that as an inspiration. Thank you, buddy.
No problem.
But other than that, it was nice knowing you, Minecraft World.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
before you go, this is something that's been thinking since you're really into books and stuff. But I was wondering if you someday like to do this. But are you interested in that you and I talk about like the adaptations of the novel I Am Legend?
I need to read that. Oh
Okay, but
God.
have you at least watched the
I have
version with Will Smith?
I have heard of that. I need to read it.
Sweet. But well, it was nice knowing you. Catch you later, buddy.
Take care, dude. Yeah. Um, I don't really have much more to say in this front. It has been an hour and 5 minutes, so yay, I guess. Um, just yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else is. This has been kind of underwhelming to me, but I was expecting more people. But hey, conversations were had, discussions were brought up, and uh, yeah. So just gonna real quick grab my. So I'm just gonna put my Instagram and Blue Sky in the chat. If you want to follow me there, if you haven't, um, and yeah, um, I don't really have much else to say. This was a brief discussion. Thank you very much, Hoshi, for jumping on. Um, this was a brief discussion on the War of the Worlds. Maybe later, more people, maybe sometime later down the line, more people will be able to show up, but we shall see. And yeah, uh, take care, fellas. Peace.